Hi, Sandra here from Creating Spain, and today we're doing another Christmas card. Now you might be thinking, why are you doing so many Christmas cards? And the simple reason is that I don't have that many birthdays coming up at this time of year. We really don't celebrate Halloween that much, and I certainly don't send cards out for Halloween. And so Christmas really is the next big occasion, so that's why. Now this one is going to be a nice fast one, and don't worry if you don't have a die cutting machine of the silver bullet or silhouette cameo type variety. I'm sure if you use dies, metal dies, you've got something that you could use for this. So the card itself is A6 on the front, and I have this piece of watercolour card which I found in my stash. I'd already coloured it blue with an airbrush, which is just as well because I just discovered I don't have any blue card around. And I have cut out some Christmas trees in here. Now the other thing I've done, and I did it before I started the video because I wanted it to dry, I put a little bit of glue around the outside edge of this, and I put some white glitter on, or transparent glitter. It's this stuff. It looks white, but it doesn't actually show up as white when it's actually on the card. And I put some little white dots on to represent snow, and the embossed sentiment, let it snow, at the base. Now I may well at some point cover this up with something completely different, but I hadn't decided on what I was going to do. So here I've got some paper which is flock paper. It's a velvet flock, and what I want to do is put it behind these trees. So I need to work out where to put that, and I think it's fairly easy because this front is the same size as my card base. As long as I don't put it down too far, I should be fine. So in this particular case, I think I'm just going to use some silicone glue to put it onto my card base. Just a little bit. There we go. Alright, that should be plenty. And I'm just going to do that so that the top edge is down a fraction from the top edge of the card base. Let's take off a little frayed edge there, and then that will go on top of here eventually, but I haven't finished with it just yet. So I'm putting that to one side and working on the front, and I have cut out this piece of silver glitter cardstock, and it has snowflakes put onto the top of this strip. They're cut out all in one piece, so basically if you're designing a file, then you either weld them on or combine it, or whatever your software says, onto just a rectangle. And what I want to do is put this so that it is somewhere in that region. But then I looked at it and I thought it needs a little bit more contrast, so I decided I would take a strip of leftover card, and although this is actually a flower design, it looks a bit like snow because it's just got round white dots on it. And what I want to do is put that just behind that rim there. So I'll do that simply by putting some glue onto the back of this piece, and I'm just going to use the inside edges of the snowflakes just here to adhere that piece. Let's turn it over and see. Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to put it up so that not all the tree trunks are showing. So I would put it round about there, and I'm just going to think, do I want to raise that, or do I want it stuck down? I think I'll actually raise that up on foam. And I'm going to just trim that edge just there. Okay, I've trimmed the other side of this to just level it off, and so now I can remove the backing tape and stick this down. And then I have another strip of this that I want to put just in there. I won't need to put glue on all the way down because it's slightly longer, and just place it under there, and I can trim the ends off. All I have to do now is to stick that onto there. So for this I'm actually going to use a silicone glue because it's a relatively dry glue. I'm going to use a white Signo pen, and I'm just going to put some more snow dots. I do like dots. Who doesn't like dots on cards? I'll put a few more in here. Now if you want to, of course, you can add some glitter onto these as well, but you don't have to. They look very nice just as they are in white. I think I don't need to add any glitter, but you know, if you like it, you can add it. Or even the little diamante type embellishments if you fancy putting on some of those. On the finished card I decided that the sentiment didn't really stand out that well, and so I've used a white Signo pen to highlight the inner part of the sentiment. So I've literally just drawn over the embossed sentiment that I put on the card previously.